Hi. In the last lesson, we saw the three-tier architecture from a high level. Now, we are going to zoom into each component. This is the information you need on your first day administrating Siebel environment. Think of a Siebel environment like a company. The gateway server is the receptionist. It knows where everyone is and directs traffic. The Siebel server is the actual workers, the ones doing the real processing. SWSE is the front door. It lets people in and out. Oracle database is the filing cabinet where everything is stored. And the file system is the shared drive everyone uses. Let's start with the Siebel Gateway Server. This is the component that must start first before anything else can work. When the gateway is down, no user can log in, no server can register, nothing works. The gateway's job is to maintain registry of all Siebel servers in your environment. Each Siebel server, when it starts up, connects to the gateway and says, I'm here, I'm running these components, I'm healthy. And the gateway records all of this. When SWSE needs to route a user request, it asks the gateway which server to use. And the gateway makes an intelligent routing decision based on current load and availability. The gateway runs on specific TCP port, by default port 2320. You will see this port referenced everywhere in Siebel configuration. The process that runs it on Windows is called Siebel Gateway Named Server Daemon. Next, the Siebel server. This is the workhorse of the environment. The Siebel server runs dozens of processes called server components, each responsible for a different function. Some of these components handle user sessions. Others run batch jobs. Others process workflows. Others run EIM data loads. The most important components are the object managers. Each object manager serves a specific Siebel application. For example, you might have a callcenter for the agents using the internal Siebel interface, and maybe eServiceObjMgr for customer-facing web portals. Each object manager loads the SRF file, your compiled configuration, and handles multiple user sessions concurrently. Here is an important point about resilience. If one object manager crashes, only the users connected to that object manager are affected, or object managers on other servers continue running normally. This is by design. It prevents a single process failure from bringing down the entire environment. The SWSE, Siebel Web Server Extension, is a bit different from the other components because it does not run on the Siebel server, it's installed on your web server. Think of it as a plugin that teaches your web server how to handle Siebel requests. The key configuration file for SWSE is called eapps.cfg. This file defines the URL paths for each Siebel application and maps them to the corresponding object manager on the Siebel server. For example, you might have /callcenter in the URL path mapped to callcenterObjMgr on server SIEBSRVR1. If you need to add a new Siebel application or change which server handles a URL, you edit eapps.cfg and restart the web server. The file system. The file system is shared network directory. Every Siebel server in your environment must have read and write access to this location. The most critical file it holds is the SRF, the Siebel Repository File. Let me spend a moment on the SRF because it's the most important file in your Siebel environment. Everything you configure in Siebel tools, your custom fields, your applets, your views, your business components, all of that gets compiled into a single binary file called the SRF. When a Siebel server starts its object manager, the first thing that OM does is load the SRF from the file system. The SRF is your application. If the SRF is corrupted or if it cannot be found, the object manager will not start. This is why backing up the SRF before any deployment is one of the golden rules of Siebel administration. I want to end with the startup sequence because this is critical knowledge for any administrator, because you cannot start components in the wrong order or things will fail. First, Oracle database. Siebel cannot do anything without access to its data. Second, Siebel Gateway Server. It needs to be up before any Siebel server can register. Third, Siebel Server. Once the gateway is running, the Siebel server can connect and start its components, including the object managers. Fourth, the SWSE restart or confirmation. Once the Siebel server is up, you can restart IIS or Apache to ensure SWSE has a fresh connections to the gateway. Shutdown is the exact reverse. First, stop SWSE, no new users can connect, then stop the Siebel server, let active sessions finish, then stop the gateway, then finally, if needed, stop Oracle. Following this sequence prevents data corruption and session loss. In the next lesson, we are going to look at deployment types. Then we have our lab exercise where you will put all of this together by drawing the complete architecture from memory.